Hi, today I'm going to be teaching you how to make this cute little garden journal in a box. It has these cute little coin envelopes inside that pull out, and inside each one it will hold packages of seeds. There's places for you to make notes on them. They all fit neatly inside this little box that I will be teaching you how to make today. What you're going to need is one piece of patterned paper, some double-sided adhesive. I like to use this magenta tape. It's a little bit difficult to find, so any type of double-sided tape or adhesive will work. A craft knife, a pencil, a bone folder, a corner rounder punch, and a ruler. I prefer for projects like these clear rulers that are available at Michael's. You can also find them in the drafting section at your local office supply store, but if not, you can always use a regular ruler too. So we're going to start off with our piece of patterned paper. For this project, I used the Pink Paisley New Line Amber Road, and this particular paper design is the apple cider. You're going to start by cutting your piece of patterned paper down to 9 inches by 8 inches. Each one of these envelopes measures 3.5 by 6.5 inches. So this particular box is made to accommodate this size of envelope only. You'll have to make adjustments if you have a different size of envelope, but you can't go much smaller because these seeds, as you can see, fit perfectly inside of here. So once you have your paper cut down to 9 inches by 8 inches, you're going to want to start cutting off the flaps. I've already pre-marked this paper, so I know where to cut. But to start off, you're going to want to measure in 1 3/8 inches from the bottom, and this will make the bottom flap that folds inside of the box. 1 3/8 inches up, so you'll go ahead and draw that on and mark it off with a pencil. And then these barriers right here, these are going to be 2 3/4 inches in from each side, and that will make where the box will fold up like this into the back. So 2 3/4 in from each side like that. Mark it with your pencil. On this side too. 2 3/4 inches in from the edge. And then up at the top, I like to make these little kind of diagonal lines that'll allow these the little tabs of the tags to stick out of the top. So what I did for this is I measured 1 inch down from the top of the paper and made a tiny mark. And then I took my ruler and marked off from the top of this line down to the 1 inch and drew a line. Same thing on this side. And these are going to be your cutting guides. So once you get them drawn on, you're going to want to go ahead and take your craft knife and go ahead and cut off the flaps. Okay, there we go. So now we have all of our flaps cut. And by the way, all this penciling is done on the inside portion of the pattern paper. You're not going to see any of these pencil lines. This is what's going to be on the outside. So now it's time to start taking our bone folder and scoring along the lines that we're going to fold the box together. First of all, we're going to want to measure 3/4 of an inch out from each of these lines that are already drawn on. And that's where we're going to score. We're going to score along both of these lines. We're going to score along this line right here that's already been drawn. And then we're going to score along the 3/4 inch mark away from it. The thing I like about these clear rulers is you can see where the previous line is, so you know that you're making a line that is completely parallel to the one that you've already scored or drawn. And then we'll repeat the same thing on this side. And then down here on the bottom, for the bottom flap, we're going to measure another 3/4 of an inch out. And fold along the line that we've already drawn up against this edge. And then score down here as well. Okay, now that we have all of our scores made, we're ready to assemble our box. But first, I like to round the corners of this flap down here just because I find that it inserts into the rest of the box a little bit more easily. So there we go. Now you can kind of fold along the scored lines and see how your box is going to come together. There you go. So now we're going to take a little piece of the double stick tape. And first we're going to want to assemble this part right here. So you can overlap either edge of it. I'm going to run it along this side right here. The great thing about this magenta brand tape is it's rippable. So you don't have to cut it. You can just run it along the edge and then tear it right off. There we go. So then we want to make sure this fits together like that. And kind of press our little piece of tape along there. So there you go. And then the same thing on this. You're going to want to run a piece of tape along this edge right here so when it fits inside of there, it holds the box together. And kind of stick your hand down inside and get the... Now you have your box made. Really simple. These envelopes that go inside of here, they're called coin envelopes. They're readily available at most office supply stores. There's some ephemera sites online that you can order them from. Pretty easy to find. I like the type that have the binder hole punched at the top of them. But you don't have to have them. You can always punch a hole for the little brads on here. For each of these, I took one of the brads from the new Pink Paisley Amber Road line. Put one of the glitter ones. I kind of alternated between the green and the red colors. And then for the journaling labels, I used some of these great new Pink Paisley punch-out journaling spots. I folded them over the edge, so on the front you could take it and write what type of seed is in there. Parsnip seeds in here. And then you flip it over onto the back and you can use these great new alphabets to write your notes up there. And then you can use your pen to write any notes you have about your gardening with those particular seeds contained in this envelope. For the little top edge along here, I used this new die cut cardstock. It's also part of the Pink Paisley Amber Road line. It's called Fall Festival. I just kind of lined the edge of my envelope up underneath here, added some double stick tape. You can see how it fits perfectly right along the edge of that scallop right there. Double stick tape it, trim the edge off there. You've got all your envelopes set up. You can stick them inside the little box. Like I said, about 6 of these fit inside of here. To decorate the box, I ran a piece of grosgrain ribbon around the outside of it with some double stick tape. I used one of these fabulous new fabric embellishments, also from the new Pink Paisley line, the Amber Road line. I trimmed out around the Autumn Splendor label, kind of frayed the edges of it and attached it around the sides. Added some pearls, a little bit of twine, another one of the labels right here. This makes a lovely gift. It says Happy Harvest on there. You could easily put somebody's name along the top part of that label. Add a little flower and another brad to the center of it, and there you go. Here is your brand new Autumn 2009 Garden Journal.